My dear students, good morning. So today I'm going to give you a review on one of the famous solid state chemistry textbook by Anthony R. West. The book name is Solid State Chemistry and Its Applications. So this is the book. This is the book that I owned. I bought it from IIZ Bangalore. It's Tata Book House in 2013. It's around 483 in that time. I purchased this book. Now its value, its price is increased because that is the importance, that is the value of this book around the world. So this solid state chemistry and its applications, as an introduction, this book by Anthony R. West is an extended version of his initial student version book or student edition, the basic solid state chemistry. The basic solid state chemistry deals only with the basic part, the theories, principles of solid state chemistry, and using the theory parts, inorganic chemistry division, and this physical chemistry division only, and a theoretical and principles of X-ray diffraction and related techniques. But this book, the solid state chemistry and its application, is focusing entirely on the application levels of solid state chemistry, not only the theory but also the Anthony R. West. He is well versed with the solid state chemistry. When we are moving to his part as an author, his experiences within the field of solid state chemistry is enormous. So his input, his contribution to a solid state chemistry, we can't say in words. That's the importance of this book. That is the vastness. The description, the contents of this book is that much useful, not only for the students, teachers, but to the researchers who are very fond of studying this field. And many new research areas also he has introduced in this book. So, not taking much time on the introduction part, welcome to my review on the world famous solid state chemistry and application textbook by Anthony R. West. Okay, move on to about the other part. Okay, so Anthony Roy West or Anthony R. West. This is the picture of the famous writer come chemist who gave us a wonderful textbook to study the solid state chemistry. He is an FRSC, Fellow of Royal Society of Edinburgh, Fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry, and Fellow of Institute of Physics, Fellow of Institute of Materials, Minerals and Mining Department. Okay, so he born in 1947 January 21 as a British chemist and a materials scientist. Completed his DSc, means doctoral in science, from the University of Aberdeen. During his studies of doctoral in science at University of Aberdeen, he wrote this book. Okay, you can imagine how keen, how contribution, how experienced that the scientist he was. So, and later he joined as a professor of electroceramics and solid state chemistry at the Department of Material Science and Engineering at the University of Sheffield, England. University of Aberdeen is a university in Scotland. Okay, so this is these two cover pages. You can see the first one, the basic solid state chemistry second edition. This is purely a student edition in order to give an awareness on the subject solid state chemistry, and its application is an extended and advanced version for those undergraduate and postgraduate students. So he wrote this book. This is a 2013 edition and is an attempt by the author to bring the relevance of the subject to the traditional teaching world. Solid state chemistry and its application, a second student edition, is an extensive update of the sequel to the best-selling textbook Basic Solid State Chemistry, the classic text for undergraduate teaching in solid state chemistry around the world. Okay, so move on to the inside the book. What exactly is inside the book? So this book offers information on a non-mathematical unified treatment of solid state chemistry. That is an important point. The content, you can see the content in the right, the picture itself. You can see 21 chapters are divided into in the textbook, and so very crisp content part, right? So we can see that the content is written in a very crisp part. But the importance of the book offers an information on non-mathematical treatment. So from the word itself, we can clear that mathematical approach is very lesson in this book. It's a unified treatment of solid state chemistry. It's also described the synthetic preparation methods, X-ray diffraction techniques. That's an important point. X-ray diffraction techniques, and the principles and theories of inorganic crystal structures, crystal chemistry, concepts of point groups, space groups, and bonding in solids. Thirdly, the phase diagrams of 1, 2, and 3 component systems, the electrical, magnetic, optical properties of solids. 3 groups of industrially important inorganic solids, that are glass, cement, and refractories, and certain aspects of organic solid state chemistry, including the organic metal as a new material. So from the initial stage itself, it is clear to you that this book gives many new subjects, new topics, right? New subtopics that we can use for our research studies. If you are pursuing in the MSc, if you want to pursue your career as a research student, you can rely on this book and take the topics as your research area. Okay, so crystallography and solid state chemistry is an important topic in subject in chemistry, which nowadays enormous researches are going on, especially using single crystal XRD techniques, etc., etc. So we are moving to the content. So you know that the content, which is divided into 21 parts, the one of the important part of feature of this book is that, so you can see formula index. So you can see many crystals or ceramic composites, and their formulas are here, right? So he has aligned the formula index, and this is for easy to take the corresponding page for your reference purpose. So this kind of formula index is not seen any other textbook that's available nowadays. Okay, this is an important feature. So you can find the chemical formula of the corresponding crystal or amorphous or ceramics, whatever it might be. You can go to the corresponding page and you can read it. Okay, and subject and author index also, that's common, but this is also an important feature of this book, and an overview of the content. So we are moving to discuss on the content part. The first chapter 1, what is solid state chemistry? This is an introduction to the readers about solid state chemistry. Solid state chemistry, what's the intention of the author? He want to bring this the solid state chemistry into an important role and relevance in the studies of chemistry. We are putting this solid state chemistry as a simple part of physical chemistry, right? So his intention was to bring this subject into an important way. So that's the reason why he gave an introduction on the solid state chemistry in the first chapter, and this is the same what he has explained in the basic solid state chemistry, the student version textbook also. Move on to the second chapter. From the second chapter onwards, we can see the application, the emphasis of the author on the theory, principles, and its applications. So in the second chapter is a preparative method. So you can see that the content is very crisp, but in each chapter he has divided the subtopics in separately, and the page-wise manner you can see that the solid state reactions, general principles, experimental procedures, co-precipitation methods, other precursor method kinetics, crystallization methods in solution, melts, glasses and gels, vapor phase transport method for the preparation of crystals, modification of existing structures, ion exchange reaction, graphite intercalculation, synthesis of new material phases, and chemia dosage, electrochemical methods, preparation of thin films, growth of single crystals. So Sheshard method, Brigman-Strongman methods, zone melting, precipitation, epitaxial, Bernoulli flame vapor phase method, hydrothermal comparison, and hydrothermal methods and dry high pressure methods. So you can see this book is a perfect companion for those who are in research field, right? So the studying these many preparatory materials is not required in the undergraduate or postgraduate level. Even postgraduate level, if you are referring this book, that will support you to have if you have a career in research field. Okay, so move on to the inside of this book. You can see everything he has illustrated in a descriptive manner, in a non-mathematical way. So you can see the pictorial representation, the Sheshkovsky method for the growth of single crystals. The growth of single crystal is an important part and important step for analyzing single crystal X-ray techniques. And you can see this is Stockberger method for the crystal melting point. This is for the for single crystal X-ray. Okay, and the important part of this book. This book gives a multiple questions at the end of each chapter and also the references. So this is an addition to this application book, an extended version, because this is not seen in the initial book of basic solid state chemistry student version, and this book gives a much more questions that can support teachers as well as the students and also the research students for their studies. Okay, also give them an insight into the references, and we can refer these books or journal papers for further studies. Move on to the third chapter, characterization of inorganic solids, application of physical techniques. So move on to the some emphasis on the subject oriented, a general approach, diffraction techniques. Yeah, this is the book where you can study much and more about X-ray crystallographic techniques. No, you don't need to buy any other textbook. Okay, so better purchase this book and you can study X-ray diffraction very well. X-ray powder diffraction, high temperature X-ray powder diffraction, single crystal diffraction, electron diffraction, neutron diffraction, microscopic techniques like optical microscopy, electron microscopy, and the spectroscopic techniques that's used for solid state. Please note that these techniques are used for solid state chemistry only. Spectroscopic techniques like IR, Raman, nuclear NMR techniques, ESR, XRF, AEFS, ESCA, XPS, X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy or element analysis, XPS, UPS, AES and EELS. And finally the Mossberg spectroscopy. He gave an insight into the Mossberg spectroscopy. I already took a class on Mossberg spectroscopy and XPS too. And next I will take a class on X-ray diffraction. Okay, so this book give an insight. So this book supports the researchers for their studies too. And so you can see that in the third chapter, the working ranges of various techniques used to view the solids. So you can see here the high resolution electron microscopy is used at watt point, and TEM, tunneling electron microscope, scanning electron microscopy, and optical microscopy and naked eye. Okay, so he has studied well and give you an insight to the readers. Okay, so first he researched in his own work and he gave a gift to the readers. Okay, that's what I can say. And the survey of techniques and their application. So this is the content. And move on to the fourth chapter is on thermal analysis. You know that the DSC, thermogravimetric analysis, differential thermal analysis, that we studied from the undergraduate level onwards in our laboratory experiments, analytical chemistry. So this book gives a much more theory rather than a chemical approach. It gives a theoretical approach to the studies of this thermal analysis, applications of DTA, DSC and TGA, and specific applications in glasses, polymorphic phase transition, characterization of materials, phase diagrams, and decomposition pathways, kinetics and enthalpy heat capacity measurements. In each chapter, it ends with the questions and references. So if you are interested, you can read further. So you can see the diagrams and everything. So you can refer this book as a perfect reference material for teachers too. Okay. Move on to the fifth chapter. This is exclusively for X-ray diffraction. So you can see that we have already took reviews of inorganic chemistry by Huhi and Day and Selbin for the theoretical inorganic chemistry. Not any book that gives an introduction, not any emphasis on studying this X-ray diffraction, right? So this book is a perfect for if you are interested in studying X-ray diffraction, you must buy this book because this book is worth that much. Okay, so you can see the chapter 5 is only for X-ray diffraction. The X-rays and their generation, diffraction, optical grating methods, and diffraction of and law equation, Bragg's law, definition of unit cells, symmetry, point groups, and space symmetry, lattice, Bravais lattice. These are undergraduate topics. Lattice planes, despacing, etc., multiplicities, and X-ray diffraction experiment, the very famous powder method and single crystal method, and the intensity calculation, scattering of X-rays, R factor. You know, if you are in research area, you can understand the R square factor used in order to align the structure using the crystallographic data, international crystallographic data, modern X-ray powder techniques and their techniques, gunner cameras, measurement of powder, despacing, intensities, high temperature powder diffraction, etc. Move on to the effect of stress on the powder patterns, source of background relation, and powder patterns influence, and whatever factors affecting the horoscope of X-ray diffraction, right? So, and you can see the illustration. He has explained very well in a descriptive manner. Single crystal method, the principle and uses, these are the subtopics. See, you can see that the Bragg's law definition, the derivation and the powder methods and its principle and uses. He already illustrated the Bragg's law, okay, and the arrangement of coins in the heads. This is the screw axis representation of sodium chloride using illustrations. See the explanation of the plane symmetry and also the intensity calculation. There is an intensity. In order to align the intensity of the X-ray beams and the results, he has calculated mathematically. This is the only chapter where he used a little bit calculus methods. So this does not affect the actual facts, actual technicality explained in the book. Move on to the last pages. He has given a lot many questions that you can address. Move on to the chapter 6, the point groups, space groups, and crystal structures. You all know that the point groups, space groups, and crystal structures are inevitable part of a solid state chemistry, right? So he gave representation of point groups that are important in crystallography, and the space groups, triclinic, monoclinic, orthorhombic, and tetragonal, and uses space groups in certain crystal structures like perovskite structure of strontium titanium trioxide and rutile structure titanium dioxide. You can see the subparts, the representation of point groups and its explanation. He has again subdivided the topics and he explained very well. Okay, the examples of point symmetry also he has given. You can see the space group studies, the titanium rutile structure. The rutile structure, he has taken the rutile structure and explained in a detailed manner. If you purchase if you are interested much, if you purchase his colored book, his colored version of this textbook, that will be good. Okay. Move on to the chapter 7 on descriptive crystal chemistry. You can see this is more on inorganic crystal chemistry, more on the close packed structures, the materials, metals, alloys, electronic structure, covalent network molecular structure, the packing arrangements, structures, rock salt, anti-fluoride. He has taken each important structure types: rock salt, sodium chloride, zinc blende, sphalerite, cesium chloride and other AX structures, rutile, cadmium iodide, cadmium chloride, cesium oxide, etc. And finally silicate structures also. You can see the picture where the anti-fluoride structure showing the unit cell in terms of sodium tetroxide, and this is the model resides on the roundabouts in the Mexico City. So you can think how important the solid state chemistry in around the world. So in Mexico City, they have arranged a model of sodium tetroxide at the roundabouts of the main city center. Moving to the chapter 8, some factors which influences the crystal structures. So the preliminary survey, he has given a preliminary understanding, and the bonding sizes, ionic structures, ionic radius, radio rules, lattice energy. You can see the Born-Haber cycles or lattice energy calculations, coordination polymorphism structures, atomic radii, bond energy calculation, and finally Musser-Pearson plots. He has also emphasized on the coordination chemistry, the crystal field splitting energy level, Jahn-Teller distortion, square planar, tetrahedral and tetragonal coordination symmetries. Okay, so you can see that he has took the coordinated polymeric structures. That is an important aspect in coordination chemistry. The transition, the D block elements, the transition metal elements is an important part in forming. They are very keen in forming crystal structures, complicated crystal structure or polyoxometallate structures. So that's the reason why he has introduced the coordination chemistry in this field. So you can see the crystal field splitting he has explained in a very few words. And also move on to the chapter 9 on crystal defects, non-stoichiometry. You all heard about in our PUC level the Schottky defect, Frenkel defects. He gave an extended version of those defects: Schottky, Frenkel, thermodynamic defects, color centers, the F center, the defects clusters, interchangeable atoms, extended defects, and how to use this defects dislocation for application level. You can see here the two-dimensional representation of Schottky defects and the Frenkel defects and the edge dislocations and all, using the pictorial representation also he explained very well. Also in the finally you can see the questions and reference to. Move on to the chapter 10 on solid solutions. Solid solution is nothing but solid solutions are very common in crystalline materials. The solid solution basically a crystalline phase that can have variable compositions. Okay, so you can see often certain properties of materials, the conductivity, ferromagnetism are modified by changing the composition of such a way that a solid solution form greater. We made this in designing new materials that specific properties. The solid solutions are of two types: subconstitutional solid solution. The atom or ion introduced directly replaces an atom of ion of same charge, just like alumina and chromium at high temperature. Okay, so you can study these new topics for your research area also. You can find many new subtopics here. So see, more complex, you can see solid solution mechanism, creation of ions, experimental methods to studying solid solutions. So you can find these chapters, these subtopics as a perfect topics for your research studies. Okay, there are very less studies are going on this field, so if you are taking these topics for your research studies, that will be good. Chapter 11 on interpretation of phase diagrams, the one component, two component systems, the system of water, silicate, the simple eutectic systems, binary systems. Binary system is immiscible liquids, solid solutions, and a three component system, ternary, simple eutectic systems, etc. So you can see how he has explained everything beautifully, right? Using the well diagrammatic representations, he has explained the three component binary systems, etc. Move on to the 12th chapter, phase transitions. So in the phase transition, what exactly a phase transition? Bure-Gauss classification, thermodynamic classification of phase transitions, Hublot's classification methods, kinetics, nucleation rate, and crystal chemistry in the phase transitions, etc. all are explained in a very well. You may think that the Anthony Arvest is a genius in the field of solid state chemistry. That's the reason why he contributed such a wonderful book to the solid state chemistry. The chapter 13 on ionic conductivity and solid electrolysis, that is exactly the electrical properties. So you can study with a lot many examples: alkali metals, silver chloride, alkaline earth, beta alumina, and their ionic conductivity measurements, the electrochemical cells principles, and also EIS, the electron impedance spectroscopy. Also he has explained in this book. See, you can see another chapter with a lot many mathematical calculation. This is for EIS. EIS is used for a physical chemistry or technique for the surface analysis. This is a confirmatory method, impedance spectroscopy method. So this is a mathematical calculation of impedance, and he gave an introduction to this topic. Chapter number 14 on electronic properties and band theory of metals, semiconductors, and inorganic solids and colors. So you can see here the chapter is divided further into band structure of metals, band structures, application of semiconductors, and the color of inorganic solids, and final comment. So he has given the crystallographic band theory in a well-versed manner, and move on to the chapter 15 on other electrical properties like Thomson effect, Peltier effect, Seebeck effect, and dielectric materials, pyroelectricity, piezoelectricity, and relationship between ferro, piezo, and pyroelectricity, and applications. You can use these chapters during my BSc diploma. So I did my research work in piezoelectricity also, because my research work in polyoxometallurgy, which comprises of piezoelectricity generation. So for that purpose, I bought this book from IISc, and you can see the dielectric materials. I have already highlighted certain points here. So this is one of the perfect book for studying this electric properties of solid state materials. Move on to the chapter number 16, the magnetic properties. Okay, so you can read the entire magnetic behavior of solid state elements here in this chapter. Behavior of substances towards magnetic field, calculation of magnetic moment, the metals, alloys, spines, garnets, perovskite, and magnetoplumbates. See, magnetoplumbates is an important topic. You can see this magnetic plumbate, which is still a research area. Okay, magnetic plumbate is still a research area. So you can read a lot about magnetic plumbates in this chapter. Transformer cores, information storage, magnetic, these are the applications. So you can use this book, as I already have repeated the same way. This book is a rich source of research topics. Okay, so theory. So you can see the mechanism of ferro and antiferro ordering, and the alignment, the grains alignment, the magnetoplumbate. See, magnetoplumbate is nothing but it's a lead incorporated iron oxide, and applications and structure and proper relationship, transformer cores, etc. Move on to the chapter number 17, optical properties. Due to constraint of time, I am not explaining much on the inside part. I have already gone through the chapters 2 or 3 times. Optical properties. So this book, this chapter gives on the study on the ruby lasers, neodymium lasers, and the principal anti-stock phosphates, some phosphor materials, etc. Luminescence and phosphorus and ruby laser. He given an illustration, the theoretical part of a ruby laser and the studies and etc. Chapter number 18. These are the major application, the two important natural solid state chemistry application, glass. So give a special emphasis on the chapter 18 on the glass. So you can see he has illustrated the subject in a very, because that's the importance of glass in our day-to-day life. The factors influencing the glass formation, oxide glass, viscosity, structural effects, criteria of sun and rosen, thermodynamic aspects, cooling, kinetics, structure of glass, vitreous silica, silicate glasses and diborane glasses, boroxide glasses, liquid immiscibility, thermodynamics, structural theories, mechanism, later viscosity, electrical properties, commercial silica, chalcogenates and chalcogenate glasses of sulfur, selenium, tellurium, electrical properties, photocopying, metallic glasses, glass, ceramics, etc. And you can face questions too. See, you can see the diagrams, you can see the questions and reference to for the further studies. And the next naturally occurring solid state application is cement and concrete. You can see the manufacture, phase diagrams of cement, polymorphism. So this book not only for the chemist, is for the engineering students also, the chemical engineering as well as ceramic engineering students also. You can also purchase this book for your studies. Oxochlorate, soil cements and recent advances of macro defects, MDF cement, etc. You can see the questions that supports those who are studying in the cement engineering or ceramic engineering field. Refractories, microstructures and textures, and grain growth, sintering, slag attacks, strength, refractory methods and recent advances in this method. Finally, move on to the chapter 21 on a new research topic, organic solid state chemistry. He has given organic solid state chemistry studies in topochemical solid state organic reactions, intramolecular, intermolecular, photochemical reactions, alpha form, beta form, photopolymerization of 2,5-distyrene pyrazine, asymmetric synthesis, and ischemic electrical conductivity, doped polyacetylene, polyparaffylene, polypyrrole, etc. So this is an organic charge transfer complexes, new superconductors. So this is a new topics to the research area. So you can see he has give you an option for the research areas, and finally giving a references to. So this is a new addition to the textbook. And last but not least, the appendices. He has given the appendices. Due to the constraints of slides, I have not including all appendices here. You can see the appendices which include geometrical consideration of crystal chemistry. The A1 is subdivided into relationship of tetrahedron to cube, a relationship of distance mx, angle xmx. You can see here the hexagonal unicell second, spear packing arrangements, polyhedron structures, and how to recognize close packed structures, eutetic, and positive negative atomic coordinates, crystallographic planes, point groups, reciprocal lattices, real and reciprocal lattices, systematically absent reflections and reciprocal lattices, diffraction and reciprocal lattices, and Ewald's spear. You can see the crystallographic point group studies, Arrhenius equation for ionic conductivity, and finally the anion, the annexed ion on the elements and some of their properties. See, he has tabulated everything. And more into the price. So I purchased this book in 2013 from an academic institution, and they are running a book house of very at a discount rate. So I purchased the same book at 483 rupees, but now you can see the book value is increased. This is from the page I have taken from, captured from Amazon. So this is the solid state chemistry textbook, the colored version, which cost is 4,826, whereas in Flipkart the book value is 7,173. You can see the value of this book, so you can understand the content. Once if you have gone through the entire video, you can understand the content, that much important the content was. So that's the reason why the price of the book is very much higher. So moving to the conclusion, this book offers information on a non-mathematical unified treatment of solid state chemistry. This book is written for those who have a keen interest in the subject of solid state chemistry. The writing pattern always supports students belonging to graduate, postgraduate times, a perfect teaching material for the concerned subject. Those who are pursuing the research career in solid state chemistry or crystallography studies, this book is a perfect companion. Yes, of course. And also, many topics, subtopics are used for a research purpose also. This book also provides many subtopics which researchers, postgraduate students can utilize for their future research studies in chemistry, because ARWest give a seed for the topic which you can elaborate using your skills and knowledge using this book. Solid state chemistry lies at the heart of many significant scientific advances from recent decades, including the discovery of high temperature superconductors, new forms of carbon, countless other developments in the synthesis, characterization and application of inorganic materials. Looking forward, solid state chemistry will be crucial for the development of new functional materials in areas such as energy, catalysis and electronic materials. This revised edition of Basic Solid State Chemistry, that is its first student version, has been completely rewritten and expanded to present an up-to-date account of the essential topics and recent developments in this exciting field of inorganic chemistry. Each section commences with gentle introduction, covering basic principles, progressing seamlessly to a more advanced level in order to present a comprehensive overview of the subject. Finally, the synthetic methods are covered extensively, and new topics include microwave synthesis, combination synthesis, mechanosynthesis, atomic layer deposition and spray pyrolysis, revised coverage of electrical, magnetic, optical properties with additional material of semiconductors, giant colossal magnetoresistance, multiferrosates, LEDs, fiber optics, solar cells, lasers, graphene, quasicrystals, extended chapter on crystal defects, characterization techniques, etc. also included. Extensive coverage of crystal structures for important families of inorganic solids is complemented by the access to crystal maker visualization software, allowing readers to view and rotate over 100 structures. If you are buying the genuine textbook from Amazon or Flipkart, you must check there is a key for accessing this crystal maker website to study and to analyze the compounds elaborated in this textbook. That's also an important supportive to those who are pursuing their research career in solid state chemistry. And solution to exercise supplementary lecture materials available online also. Solid state chemistry and its application. Finally, the second student edition is a must textbook for any undergraduate, postgraduate or new research worker studying solid state chemistry, or as a perfect teaching material. Okay, so I recommend to buy this book, because this book is a perfect companion for you if you want to pursue your career in solid state chemistry. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed my review. Thank you very much, and wait for another book. Okay, thank you.